in about a year with the help of physical therapy. Well, then after about 2 weeks, the muscles in my right side began to tighten and clench, and doctors told me this was spasticity. And now, if you can get rid of the spasticity, you should be able to return to normal like anybody else after about a year. But the problem is, you can't get rid of it because there's no cure for it. It's very, very difficult to remedy. So, once again, I was just devastated because I knew that I would never be able to do activities like running, swimming, exercising, like millions and millions of people can do. And regardless, I was in physical therapy for about 2 years straight, and I learned how to walk without any assistance, and I would gain a lot of gross movement in my arm. Since I was right-handed, I also had to learn how to write with my left hand, which was a blast. And I had a really hard time pronouncing words, moving my mouth, swallowing, because the rest of my side of my face, including my tongue, cheek, lips, everything was just paralyzed as well. So, but after I got out of the hospital, I remember how amazing it was. On the first day, I got to go home because I got to sleep in my own bed. I got to do whatever I wanted, and also it was nice that I didn't have to get my vital signs checked every 3 hours and have blood drawn and all that good stuff. So that was just, it was perfect. And doctor sent me to this outpatient clinic that offers physical and occupational therapy, psychotherapy, and it gives you skills to cope with the cognitive deficits that you struggle with, and many people struggle with. And I was just so fragile and vulnerable at this time. And the program, if nothing else, this gave me structure. It was a place where I could put my energy towards something besides negativity and despair, which was so easy to fall into. But it was actually at this place where I truly began to realize just how bad my cognitive limitations were. My short-term memory was damaged. I couldn't multitask. I got lost after about 20 seconds into a conversation. Couldn't process things very well. My writing skills were severely diminished. I also had a really hard time processing and understanding what I read. And it was very difficult to fathom just how bad things were. My counselor insisted that I enrolled in this extended learning course just to test my abilities. It was a history course that called for 22 essays. It was an absolute disaster because I would write just a simple paragraph and over some really simple reading, and I would show the content of the paper to my parents and counselor, and I would do draft after draft after draft after draft, and every single time I would do it. Whether it was my friend, family member, or counselor, they would all just pretty much look in my eyes and tell me that none of it made sense. It was so frustrating because I knew that I wasn't even close to what I was before. It was really tough. So I felt like I was always so lost in the months after my injury, in the early months after my injury. Like everything was going just 100 miles per hour, speeding past my comprehension. I think the reason why it hurt so deeply was because I knew what normal was, and I knew what normal wasn't. And I knew what it took to function in the real world by this point in my life, at least to some degree. And I knew that I did not have what it took at this time. My biggest fear was that I would always be like this for the rest of my life without any improvement. In November of 2004, my physical therapist and I agreed that I should get this device called a baclofen pump implanted in my midsection to fight spasticity. It's actually, I don't know, it's about right here. I'll even show you. It's, if you can see it, it's like right here, but I'm too fat, so probably can't even see it. But this device pumps baclofen, which is basically like a really small muscle relaxer, into your body. It pumps into your spinal fluid, and then it disperses all the medicine to the right side of my body. And the results were just awesome. It didn't affect the arm too much, but it significantly decreased the spasticity or tone in my leg. It was amazing. While we continued to increase the dose of the pump because the results were so good, my mood and my disposition started to go downhill over time, even more than I already was. I became depressed and anxious, and it was about at this time in early December that I graduated from this program that I took, the outpatient program, and which took away all the structure that I needed so much at this time. And because I have 2 full-time working parents and lost the security blanket that challenge provided me, I pretty much stayed at home by myself from morning until evening with nothing to do except ruminate on my own thoughts and all the circumstances. It was as if at this point that reality and the true awareness of just how bad my situation was fell on me like a ton of bricks. And it's sad to say that this was actually the beginning, because the beginning of all this, because things started to get much worse.